game will be 8:49 p.m. So we'll start with, while we wait for Coach, we'll start with questions for the players. So once again, just raise your hand. We have 2 microphone holders. Just give your name and your outlet before you ask your question. So we'll start in the back with Michael, standing in the aisle.
Just tell Michael Longo, AP broadcast, just how tough was it to have them get out to the lead and just try to play catch up the rest of the night? Just how much harder was it in terms of trying to get back in the game and getting yourselves out of what you normally do?
Let's start with Troy.
The way we started off, just it wasn't us. We had another slow start. This whole tournament, we've been starting off slow, and I mean, it came back to hurt us. I mean, we had games throughout the season where we would start off slow, but we'll find a way to get back. But I mean, they're a great team. They just kept the lead, and they sustained the lead, and they also pushed the lead even more.
Yogi?
Yeah, well, they were consistently making shots, inside, outside to start the game, and our shots weren't falling. So going up against such a great team as North Carolina, you can't come out to a slow start. Got to be clicking on all cylinders, and we just couldn't stop them to start the game.
We'll take next question at this time. Let's stay in the aisle. Yep, behind the microphone holder. Sorry. Go ahead.
All week we've heard that North Carolina doesn't shoot the three. They don't make a lot of threes, and then they come out and they hit all those shots. How surprising was that for you guys, and how did that take you off your game, so to speak?
We'll start with Max this time.
Yeah, they're not traditionally known for, knocking down all those shots, but today they did, and sometimes you're gonna get games like that, and you just got to be able to adjust. And we tried to do some things adjusting wise, but one guy stopped knocking them down, Page started, and another guy would knock them down after that. So it was as far as the scouting report, a lot of the guys who are numbers wise decent shooters had a lot of great days, and when you got guys like that with a team like North Carolina, it's a tough train to stop.
We'll take a question we have here in fifth row, right here at the end of the aisle.
Yeah, Bob Kravitz from WTHR in Indianapolis for Max and Yogi. When you came off the court with, I think, 23 seconds left, Coach Crean stopped you, both of you, and I think Troy as well, and spoke with you. Could you share a little bit of what he said to you when you're walking off the floor?
Start with Max.
Coach Crean, he's a coach that loves his players, and coaches like it too. And a moment like that, he's especially Yogi, who's been here for 4 years and gone through thick and thin with him. He's just saying thanks for everything. And I've only been here a year, but this has been an incredible year for me. I'm grateful for the opportunity Coach gave me, and just to be able to play with these guys. And it was just a lot of love, a lot of thanks, and just kind of wrapping it up.
And Yogi.
Basically what Max said.
Okay, any more questions for the players? Yep. Over here at the end in row 4. Yeah, while he walks over, let's get Shannon here in the second row.
Yogi, if you could just elaborate or describe your feelings when you checked out and the fans are chanting your name, just your emotions at that time.
Emotions all high. To lose the game in the Sweet 16, didn't get to where we wanted to get. But, just reflecting back on all the 4 years I've had at IU, I've had a lot of accomplishments, and I feel like I gave my all to IU. So, at the end of the day, I'm glad that Coach Crean took me to come to this university. I met a lot of people, learned a lot of great things, and it's just something I'm going to remember.
All right, and in the fourth row at the end, yep, go ahead.
Anthony Sula-Heffinger, Yahoo Sports. For Max and Troy, what has Yogi meant for you guys just going throughout this season? And, I know you guys probably didn't want to see him go out the way you guys did, but the performance he had and the leadership he showed on the court today and throughout the whole season and the tournament.
Let's start with Troy.
I mean, Yogi's just a great guy in general, on the court and off the court. Since I first got here, I seen the hard work he put into this program. I seen how much it meant to him. I mean, throughout these years I've been here with him, everything I did is for the programs, for our seniors, and it's always been for Yogi as well. I mean, just seeing what he does, and he's just an inspiration to all of us, even to the coaches as well. And it's more than just a friendship. It's like a family. The whole team is, but Yogi's even his family that took me in, and he's just a great guy, and so is his family.
And Max.
Yeah, Yogi's he's so invested in the team. He's a heck of a teammate. Just on the court, obviously, just the things you guys can see, but then, off the court, him being a senior this year and it being basically his team, just with him being here the longest and just, doing everything he can. He's just done a tremendous job of, kind of being the motor for this team, making sure all of our heads are in the right places. We have that mental toughness we need to have, and it's when you find that in a point guard and a guy that can lead your team like that, it's something special. It's something that a lot of teams lack, and you're just grateful to have him on your side.
We'll take one more question for the players if there is one. Yep, here in row 3.
Greg Logan of Newsday for Troy. You had a point in the second half where you scored about 14 straight points, and all it did was cut the lead to 10. How frustrating was that at that point to feel like you must have been doing all you possibly could?
It's not really frustrating, I mean, those points. I mean, it's just all to spark the team. I mean, since I've been here, I always try to find ways to impact the game, not only for me but for my teammates as well. If it's by a dunk, if it's by a rebound, if it's by a pass, I'll do it. I always put the team first, and just if it has to be scoring, then it's going to be scoring.
Okay, we'll dismiss the players now. A reminder, the locker room is open at Indiana, as well as with UNC. So with Coach Crean, we'll start with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up to questions for him. So, Coach?
Well, first and foremost, I can't even begin to describe how proud I am of this group. These 3 and their teammates, with everything that they've accomplished this season and the things they've had to endure to get to this point, and then even the things in-house with the injuries and situations like that we've had to handle. And every team goes through different stages, and they either really bond together or they fracture apart. And all this team did throughout everything is bond together to where it was just incredible. And it certainly hasn't hit me yet that it just ended. And so I'll probably struggle with the questions of finality, but they've given everything to Indiana. Yogi is leaving here as one of the great winners, and it's really no way anybody's going to be able to take that away from him. He's won 2 outright championships in 4 years, and leaves obviously with the accolades. Was a part of 2 of our 3 Sweet 16s in the last 5 years, and what these guys have done has just been remarkable, and it's been an absolute honor to coach them, and can't put it into words any more than that. As far as the game, North Carolina played outstanding. And if they play like that, even remotely close to that, they'll be very, very hard to beat. And I hope they do, because Roy deserves it. And they shot the ball. First thing Roy said coming off the court is they shot the ball extremely well. Obviously, we didn't shoot it nearly as well as we're capable of. I was never down about where our offense was because we're missing shots we usually make. And we're missing shots that you can't have the success our team's had on both ends of the court without having that level of confidence that those shots are going to go. And they just didn't enough, and the first half really hurt us. There's no question about that. But we never really got the postgame under control. The threes hurt us, no question about that. But the post-ups, they destroyed us. I mean, we couldn't overcome that. And so when you've got a team like that that's got the depth, the consistency that they have, and then obviously we're playing without another starter in Rob tonight, which hurt our depth in the backcourt and hurt our depth defensively, certainly. It was just too much for us to overcome tonight. But these guys battled to the very end. I mean, and that's exactly what you want. And I feel awful for them because they gave everything. They gave everything to each other. And they were getting better up into this morning or this afternoon at the walkthrough. And when your team is getting better all the way throughout the year and you can look at that and they know they're getting better, then we got a lot out of it. And that's why it's hard to see a season end. It wasn't like we were running on fumes. We were injured, but we were improving constantly. But Carolina deserved the win, no doubt about that.
All right, we'll take questions for Coach at this point. Okay, in the aisle right there behind you. Yep. Go ahead, Michael.
Hi, Coach. Michael Lonko, AP Broadcast. You talk about alluded to it, but the run you guys made just to get here with everything you've gone through. Just how special was this, and is that one of the things you'll take away when you think about this team?
Well, I think they're going to be so bonded. I mean, there's going to be very few things in their life outside of personal issues or tragedies and things like that with what they've had to overcome. I mean, it's been a bit crazy. And again, we're still talking about going in here yesterday. We're talking about stuff that happened in November and December. I mean, I don't know many teams that have to deal with that, but they've overcome all of that, and they've continued to get better constantly. And I think the way that they were able to look at adversity or people's version of it, shut that out, and absolutely focus in on what improvement is all about, what a level of commitment and connectedness is to one another. That's why we had the success that we had. And the program has done a fantastic job of overcoming those things. And these guys take a backseat to no one on that. So I'm proud of what they've done. And this loss will certainly become, it'll hit me, a bit. And that film will hit me. But it's hit me every day that I've been fortunate to coach these guys.
Right down here in the second row at the end of the row.
You touched on this a little bit in your opening statement.
What's your name?
Adam Kilgore with the Washington Post.
Okay.
When Page and their guards are making shots like they were, how almost like unreasonable does the task become stopping them just because how big and strong they are?
Well, Marcus was making video game shots to start the game. I mean, seriously. I mean, he's a tremendous player. I mean, Roy, I'm sure, feels about him the way I feel about Yogi, and deservedly so. I mean, remember when they were both in the game as freshmen at Assembly Hall. But we never got him under control early with what we wanted to do on the wings, and he's a tremendous wing shooter. And what he did is he got hot, and he was able to make them from other places. And no question, I had to think about going against the doctor's orders for a minute to try to get Rob Johnson into the game, but that wasn't going to fly. But he did a great job, and he brought a lot of confidence to his teammates tonight. And when you got that with the level of what they've got inside, I mean, it's hard to deal with. Jackson was as scary to me going into the game as any of them, and because he's their Swiss Army knife, like Troy is for us, and he did a fantastic job in the first half. I mean, he's a high level player because he's in constant movement, and when a guy can move like that, can make plays, can make shots, that movement frees it up for other guys, and Marcus did a fantastic job throughout the game, and especially to start the game.
Do we have any more questions for Coach? Okay. Coach, you are excused.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to everyone here at this arena and everything that they did. Welcome us in Philadelphia. Everybody here at this arena has been 100% first class. Thank you very much. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you.
I will have Caroline in just a few seconds here.